Coming to paperback and e-readers in 2021, Shawn Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks on a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new Shawn Haynes series adventure. Get Shawn Haynes, Taking Care of Business in 2021 at online booksellers everywhere.
It's Shawn here with another comic review video. Now, last year when I went to the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival, I wanted to make a beeline for the table of the creators of Tuskegee Heirs, because I had picked up the first 3 issues of Tuskegee Heirs, I think at Anime NYC in 2019, and I had heard on Facebook from Greg Burnham that they were going to have Tuskegee Heirs number 4 on the table. So I went to there looking for that book, and I went there looking for the Black Sands DVD. And while I was able to pick up Black Sands DVD and I think the 5th issue of Black Sands, I wasn't able to get the 4th issue of Tuskegee Heirs because they didn't have it available for print just yet. So I practically waited an entire year to get this book, and I have to say that this 4th issue does a great job of moving the story forward and having you anticipate the next issue. Now, Tuskegee Heirs is a black series that continues the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen from the World War II, and it also fuses it with some futuristic concepts that remind me a lot of the old 1980 series Robotech. And these high-tech flyers are in a world where the law prevents people from flying, so it's sort of like there's a Jim Crow thing going on, and they have to go out here and fight these missions in spite of the government putting these policies in place to keep them from flying. And they have them they present them as rogues, but they're actually heroes out here trying to do the right thing. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up this 4th issue to continue the saga, because this manga is absolutely fun, fantastic, and has great action and adventure and some really strong art. Now, this book is one that starts off with a nice establishing shot of this city in the South Pacific, and it seems like, but what's happening behind the scenes is the leader of the Tuskegee Heirs, Mars, has been captured, and that happened in the 3rd issue. So he got captured in the 3rd issue, and now he's being interrogated by this guy who has this bionic spine, which is something that seems to be, very futuristic, and it reminds me partially of $6 Million Man, and it also partially reminds me a little bit of Iron Man. And this guy is looking like he wants to interrogate Mars, but Mars isn't going to break. And I think they're trying to get him to reveal the energy source that they're looking for. So what they're trying to do is trying to beat him up and try to make him talk, but he's not saying anything because he's got a strong resolve. Now, the book continues with the Tuskegee Heirs going on different missions, and these double-page panels do a great job of showing the team in action. And it builds up with them throughout this comic going on different missions, and eventually they wind up settling to start a mission on Easter Island. Now, this Easter Island mission has a great build-up because we get a scene that tells us that there were black people who lived on these islands, and that's not something that is taught in history. So in addition to the action and adventure, we get some great factoids about black history, and that's one of the other reasons why I like Tuskegee Heirs, is that it does a great job of fusing black history with the action and adventure. So I really liked seeing that factoid because we never really talk about how a lot of the people who live on those islands, like the Samoans, these are people who are descended from black people, and they are descended from black culture and African culture, but that's not really talked about. And as the book continues to go on, we get that more buildup about them presenting the Tuskegee heirs as bad guys, but they're actually heroes, and they've got help behind the scenes from the senator. But what is also going on is we get a little insight into their mission on Easter Island, and that they're getting some help from the people on Easter Island. Again, Greg does a great job of showing us that there are black people who live on these islands, and these people who are descended from Africans are a part of the culture, but nobody wants to talk about that in the mainstream media, and nobody wants to talk about how black people have been living on those islands for years. So that's something that we don't get in mainstream comics, but is featured here. And the story continues to go on, and we get a great story of how Mars helped out this young brother when he was younger, and now when he's older, he's looking to help out the Tuskegee heirs. So there's a great legacy here in the story showing how when one black man goes out here and helps another black man, he then pays that forward. And that's something that is very important that needs to be taught in black culture, that when our fathers go out here and do something for a young brother, we need to go out here and help that other young brother who's trying to do something next. So we got a great message here about one generation helping out the next. And I like seeing that in the pages of the Tuskegee heirs. And I like seeing this team, again, being taught values in addition to teaching action and adventure. So there's a lesson here in the theme of the book that really is good, because we really do need to see things like this about not only about black people learning how to help other black people, but teaching that we need to keep looking out for each other. So it's like one generation helping out the next generation. And this was the lesson that the young man learned and was passed on to him, and now he's passing it on to the Tuskegee heirs. So I like seeing that right there in this story. I mean, this is one of the things that makes this issue a really strong issue, is that passing things on. And I don't want to give away too much of this book, because the action and adventure is I love the story, and the action and adventure is really intense. But there was some great footage here, again, of him using of Mars using this powerful weapon. It reminded me a lot of Black Panther. This sequence right here reminded me a lot of Black Panther. And this other sequence with these cyber beings, this was something that, it reminded me of my own Isis series story, Isis Wrath of the Cyber Goddess. These sequences here with these mecha bad guys. And there's a lot of fun stuff in Tuskegee Heirs number 4, and excuse me, having a little bit problem with the tape, but I definitely recommend you pick up Tuskegee Heirs number 4 and the other 3 issues. And this book was definitely worth the wait, because I had to wait practically an entire year to get this book. I had to go to the Tuskegee Heirs website to go pick this book up, but I wanted to continue picking up the Tuskegee Heirs saga, and I was willing to pay $15 to get this Tuskegee Heirs book. I mean, I saw it as not a problem, because in New York, it's already $5.50 to go and come on the subway to an event like the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival. So the $5 I spent on shipping would be the same as bus fare going to the festival. But I like going to the festival because, you get to meet other black creators, you get to talk to other black creators, and you get to see their work, and you get to see their work and get to meet other people. I mean, one day I would love to have a table at the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival when this pandemic is over. That's something I've always dreamed of having, is a table, and then having SJS Direct books at the table. I mean, I'm trying to work on getting a John Haynes comic out, or a graphic novel out soon. So that's one of the projects I want to do for 2021. And I've talked to an artist already about doing the pages of that book. So that's one of the things I want to do. And I would love to have a table there. That's one of the goals I have. But I love getting books like Tuskegee Heirs. I love seeing images of black people in action adventure stories. And I love seeing black history being presented and also black people building on the legacy of our great heroes like the Tuskegee Airmen. And the Tuskegee Heirs does a great job of building on the legacy of those legendary Tuskegee Airmen from World War II, but also showing us great black heroes who are going to be, as I see it, future heroes in the 21st century. I mean, this book, again, it reminds me of all of the great manga and anime stuff that I used to watch as a kid during the 80s, like Robotech and Voltron, but it also makes it fresh for the 21st century and fuses black culture in with it. So when I look at Tuskegee Heirs, it's a great book that I'm glad to have all the first 4 issues in my collection, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up the 5th issue and having it as a part of my collection when it comes out. I mean, I have a lot of the milestone books and that when they came out, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to be able to pick up the books of black comic creators today and continue building a great black comic collection, because these type of stories, these are the things that can, as I see it, change a child's life. They can shape a child's life. I mean, when you feed your child media like this, it changes their whole perception of the world. And instead of them seeing the world through a white lens, they see the world through a black lens, and they learn pride about themselves. And I was really proud reading Tuskegee Heirs and seeing these brothers continuing to build on the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen and build on the legacy of great black comic creators like the late, great Dwayne McDuffie. I can, again, highly recommend you pick up Tuskegee Heirs number 4. It continues a great saga, and you definitely, after you pick this one up, you definitely have to pick up Tuskegee Heirs number 5. Now, again, I picked this up off their website, and it came packed very nicely, has a nice card here, and it says, "Hey there, the Tuskegee Heirs crew just wants you to thank you for your purchase. We hope you understand how incredibly impactful your support is to our business. It allows us to continue down this arduous road of self-publishing and create these stories." And that's something I do on my own SJS Direct imprint. I know how hard it is to go out here and put these kind of books together, because I do this every year with the books of the SJS Direct imprint. And that's one of the reasons why I go out here and support great books like Tuskegee Heirs, because I want to see more black creators like Greg and Marcus be able to continue making great comics. So I definitely want you guys to head over to TuskegeeHeirs.com, pick up their books. They're great stories, and I want to see them be able to continue this Tuskegee Heirs saga. So I definitely want you guys to head over to their website and pick up their books, because I'm going to be picking up more of their books, and I want you to pick theirs up along with the books of my own SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy. And if you guys want to see me, again, continue to make more great comic review videos of books like Tuskegee Heirs and be able to produce my own SJS Direct books, you can also help and support our work, my work, by donating to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Blast from the Past. Hell's aspiring angel takes on her demonic doppelganger in this action-packed, time-traveling E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Blast from the Past with a bonus E-Steam comic book, No Good Deed, in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.